You know, as a result of studying AZD, not only has my discipline improved, my character improved. This is me before studying AZD. Obviously, this is me now. Character, confidence, discipline, and the certainty to get women, communicate.
I am an attorney in California. I'm an attorney in Texas. And none of that happened before I met AZD and IMC Nation. He gave me the mindset, the understanding, the knowledge, the knowingness deep within that I can accomplish whatever the fuck I want.
Thanks to AZD, I have control of my mind and awareness of my character and development in a way that's not possible. I've studied with so many masters, so many teachers of the mind, awareness, intelligence, intellect, skill sets of many different fields. Nobody compares with what AZD does. It's not even on the same order of magnitude.
With AZD, I took my level of certainty and confidence to another level that I didn't know I could tap into. These teachings really allowed me to unleash myself into a whole new version of myself that could produce more, make more money than ever before.
In the chaos of today's world, IMC Nation stands as a beacon of transformation. Founded by Arash Zepar Dibazar, known globally as AZD. Through his YouTube videos, AZD shared profound philosophies and the wisdom of his mentors, sparking a movement of unparalleled self-evolution and mental mastery. IMC Nation is not just an idea, but a powerful brotherhood of men who live with honor, purpose, and unyielding strength. The epitome of the true alpha male. Men who are not only dreamers, but doers, turning visions into reality through the most powerful techniques of self-mastery. This movement has grown organically, spreading like wildfire across the globe, attracting men driven by a desire for excellence and greatness. Here, men are transformed into modern-day warriors, mastering their minds and lives. They learn to turn fear into courage, doubt into conviction, and weakness into strength. This is the art of the true alpha male, a blend of power, wisdom, and elegance. IMC Nation is more than a community. It's a revolution. It calls to those who seek more than the ordinary, promising not just change, but profound metamorphosis. Under AZD's guidance, men unlock their true potential, becoming unstoppable forces of nature. Join us. Be part of this epic journey. Witness the rise of powerful, inspiring, and dominant men. Let IMC Nation be the catalyst for your transformation and the brotherhood where your true potential is realized. This is the path of the true alpha male. This is the art of becoming unstoppable. I love that little lion at the end. All right, everybody, I'm AZD. I'm that guy. Changed a little bit since that video. This is IMC Nation. Changes every day, okay? This is a free podcast for an hour worldwide. We do it once a week. It's called Let's Talk About It, okay? And normally my co-host is Brett. Brett is an 8-figure income nigga. And he's not here today because he's doing 8-figure nigga income shit. All right, but today we got
6-figure income nigga.
we got Yogi Chris. He holds a PhD in the university. He holds a PhD in university in environmental sciences. He's a champion in wrestling. He's one of the highest level wrestlers that has lived during that time. He's one of the highest level yogis, traveled the world and traveled India and trained with some of the masters you read about. And he's also, if you look up what IMC Nation is, look it up in ChatGPT. He's also the captain of IMC Nation. Today he's holding co-host, okay, because Brett won't be here. So it'll be him and I. We're going to talk about it. This is for men and women. Adults only, okay, adults only. We're using adult language. And we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Before we get started, I had an idea. I don't think of ideas the same way anymore. It was a different kind of idea. There's good ideas and bad ideas, good demons, bad demons, shit like that. But it came to me, let's put it like that. It came to me that I would much rather have these podcasts be somebody on the other side challenging me. You know what I mean? Like if someone has a problem with me or what I do, that would be very exciting to spend an hour and see what that's like in front of an audience.
I'm setting it up. You know, I'm trying.
You're trying to set it in opposition?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because I made a call for staff members who wants to do this apprentice task, basically get close to the IMC business. I'll teach you everything that you ever want to know about IMC business. But in the meantime, you're going to do some work trade for me.
That sounds like the old discipleship program.
It's what I've done for years. And you know, it's so funny. As soon as I made that call out for apprentices, Facebook reminds me 6 years ago, and I had this flyer of 9th Limb Yoga apprentices who want, combined with a quote from AZD and work trade.
Seasons?
I've been doing this, you know.
Man.
Yeah, seasons.
But it's like the same timing. Also, my Facebook
And phase
is
2 of the
coincidental,
beast.
yeah, literally same timing.
I'm with it. So my task for these guys was looking for podcast collaborators for you, like at a high level, influencers, and people in Vegas.
If you made something happen, let's do it together.
And people worldwide, and they're just, you know, it'll be different for both. And I'll also let them see how I do the outreach, how I communicate with these influencers, and, you know, set something up. One of the staff members asked when I was giving them, I had a sequence of videos to inform them of the task. They asked, do you want skeptics or cynics or people that like are going to challenge, essentially? Yeah. Yes, the answer is yeah. It'll be a minority of them, but, you know, they'll definitely, you know, that's on the radar. So if I can set that up, I will.
Yeah, so let's start like that. If there's anybody online who's watched any of my videos or read anything or heard about me and has a disagreement, here's your chance to talk about it, okay? I'm going to talk civilly with you until you become uncivilized. Then I'll be still civilized, but I'll beat you. Okay, is there anybody? Go ahead and raise your hand. If not, we'll get on. I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be. But I don't know very many people that get on live and say, let's go. If you have a problem, let's deal with it now. Okay, so if there's nobody online, great. I'm glad I'm amongst friends. Now, friends of mine, listen. There'll be people that will tell you that I'm not a good person. Bring them on next Thursday. Have them prove to everybody how right they are. Okay? Have them come dialogue with me. And in fact, have them come save all these other people from my evil, diabolic plans. Okay? That's how you deal with haters. Right? There's a lion sitting here. That's me. They think I'm a liar. I'm a lion. There's a difference. And so they will show up. We'll get in the arena. And I'll let go of the chain. And I'll face them. Right? And there's an audience. And everybody would be able to tell when one person is right and one person is wrong. When there's this many intelligent people. Right? Yeah. So if they are really, really skeptic about me and they think I'm wasting my life and time. In fact, I think you should send an invitation to all the people that have defracted, is that the word? Dropouts of IMC, and invite them to come on now, and I would give them an audience, and they could tell everybody how fake I am. Okay?
I'll message them right now.
Wouldn't that be great? Would you guys like to see some people who are part of my organization who defracted, went away, and now are talking bad about me? We're sending them a message. Defected. What's a diffract?
Diffract is a light term, like diffraction.
Light, it moves. Would it still? Could they still have diffracted from it? From the light terms?
Let's see. The process by which a beam of light or other system of waves is spread out as a result of passing through a narrow aperture or across an edge, typically accompanied by interference between the waveforms produced. So it's like how the light becomes a rainbow color.
Splits. Yeah. They split. They diffracted. Right? They're a fraction. They're diffracted. They fraction themselves off. So anyways, that will be fun. I'll tell you why. That'll get my heart beating a little bit faster. Right? And I like that.
What do you think? What's a good wording for this?
A good wording is anybody who has anything to say about AZD, AZD is inviting you to come live to his podcast and tell everyone live, debating with him, what a bad person he is. Wouldn't that be great?
That's fucking great.
I'd like to hear what they have to say. I mean, they'll come on. Some of them are bold. I trained them, so I know they're bold. They better step up if they're my students. Huh? Show some balls. Okay, show some balls. You're badass, my brother. You better believe it. I know I am. They're about to prove how much I am. Anybody who gets on is going to get defeated because they're going to be lying. And that's why they're going to get defeated, right? But it will get my heart pumping faster because thinking about it makes me feel more alive, okay? A man lives through challenges and betters himself through challenges. Comfort is male Homo sapien. Comfort is our disease. right? You could become comfortable, and I find you 2 months later worse than you were if you stayed in comfort. And if you stayed in comfort for 8 months on anything you were doing, 8 months later, you'd be worse in that thing, whatever that is, even in your relationship. Now, you want to be comfortable with each other in the relationship 100%, but you don't want to get comfortable in the relationship, meaning you stop putting attention on creating it. Every time you're around each other, it could be 19 years, it could be 16 years, it could be 8 years, 9 years, it could be 2 days. Every time you're around each other, right, you should be comfortable with each other, but you should make sure the relationship is expanding somehow. And how does that work? Well, one way is both of you evolve, okay? And so if you're evolving and you're going up and the other person is evolving, then you're both raising, right? If you're evolving and the person is not moving up, they're staying the same, then this gap in the relationship becomes more and more and more. Welcome. As this gap becomes more, you care about the person, so you want to bridge the gap. You try to lift them up, they resent you, right? Because you're not speaking the same language anymore. For example, if the butterfly landed and started talking to the caterpillar, right? And they got into a debate because the caterpillar couldn't see far enough to know that he was a butterfly too. Eventually, the butterfly would just sound ridiculous to the caterpillar. He would speak about horizons that the caterpillar can't even think about. He would think about, the butterfly would speak about colors and flavors and nectar. The caterpillar only knows how to drag his body across the ground, slowly chewing on leaves. Gets lucky if he gets near a flower before somebody eats it. So that frustration is the gap between the evolved individual and the non-evolved individual. Now, if the butterfly had the ability to lower himself back down to the level of the caterpillar, but just maybe have tiny little wings where it could jump. Caterpillars can't jump, right? This little caterpillar jumps. Whoa. Right? It's still wow, and maybe the caterpillar would be like, oh, you're so cool because you jump. But the butterfly had to go back down evolution, right? And so for that reason, the way your relationships stay fresh, right? I've had girlfriends for 18 and a half years, 16 years, 13 years, things like that, right? And relationships are still really good, better than they ever were. Because we raised together, okay? And that's not easy, but it's worth it. And relationships are not easy, but they're worth it, right? Because one knows oneself in relation to, right? If we're just one point in space with nothing to measure against, we don't even know what's happening. Now we have 2 points. Now we have distance, and we can put time in there. We can put space in there. We're starting to create a universe. If there's 3 points in here, and all 3 points are conscious, and 2 points are saying one thing and one isn't, now we're starting to get some kind of, why do those two say that and this one doesn't? Now, if they're in disagreement, one is right, one is wrong. Whichever is right, as the scene goes forward, we see it get better. Whichever one's wrong, as the scene goes forward, the condition gets worse. And that's one of the definitions we found at IMC Nation for the definition of right and wrong. Because you could be from one part of the world, one tribe, and another part of the world, another tribe, right? What you do there is wrong over there. What they do there is wrong over there. But you're both good people. It was just where you were brought up, how you had to survive. They were brought up, they had to survive. The culture that you were brainwashed into, the culture they were brainwashed into. Now ready? These two people might disagree what's good or bad unless they do this. Good would be whatever we apply, that the condition of ourselves, our family, our loved ones, and everyone. He doesn't have permission to mute. You got to give him Zay. Yeah. Good would be whatever makes us better, right? But if I belong to a family and I get better and my family crashes, soon you'll see that I crash. I either lose the family, right? And that can be survival. Or I just crash. And so in that manner, we've measured with our intelligence that we're actually connected to each other. Like, I could be a great basketball player, but if my team sucks, I'm going to suffer for it, right? If I'm a great basketball player, my team is great, we do great. Now, if I'm a great basketball player and my team members are great, but we can't coordinate our motion, then we suffer again. And we suffer a different way, right? And so the act of coordination is done with humans through communication. Thus, our focus on communication. And why we became a movement. You know what the definition of a movement is? Can we look that up?
Yeah.
Let's look up what a movement is.
The act or process of moving, especially change of place or position or posture.
Okay. What else? What about a movement in regards to society? A movement started.
A tactical or strategic shifting of a military unit.
Not that one either. What about another kind of movement? We're finding the right term.
A series of organized activities working toward an objective.
Okay, getting closer. Damien needs to unmute. I mean, mute.
I know.
Yeah.
Since I'm streaming to multiple YouTubes, I have to keep the host.
Yeah.
Of motion.
Anybody out there finds it too? Just raise your hand. What's the definition of a movement? It's a movement on Earth, right?
A distinct structural unit or division having its own key rhythmic structure and themes and forming part of an extended musical composition. Okay.
What about a social movement? Let's look up the word social movement.
Dictionary. This is a movement on planet Earth, refers to a collective and organized effort by a group of people working together to achieve a common goal or promote a specific cause or change. Movements can be social, political, cultural, or environmental, and are often driven by shared beliefs, values, or a desire for transformation. They aim to influence public opinion, policy, or societal norms and can range from grassroots initiatives to large-scale global efforts. Examples include civil rights movements, environmental conservation movements, and artistic or cultural movements.
Thank you. That's the one. Examples are what?
Civil rights.
Civil rights movement. I want you to measure what a movement is.
Environmental.
Environmental movement.
Like PETA, maybe.
Right.
Artistic or cultural movements.
Right. Movement. Like, let's say we're going to have...
the grunge movement or the hip hop.
I told him to give me examples. It fucking says LGBTQ.
That's a movement, though.
It's a movement.
It changed the planet. Yeah. We all had to adjust because a movement of LGBTQ, whatever, RC, WXYZ happened, right? we all had to adjust. That's a movement, right?
Yeah.
Everybody know what a movement is? Yeah. Now, what's a global movement? Look up a global movement.
All right. A global movement. A global movement in society is an organized collective effort that extends across multiple countries and regions, aiming to bring about change on a worldwide scale. These movements typically address universal issues or shared concerns that transcend national boundaries, uniting people from different cultures and backgrounds around a common goal or set of values.
Okay, everybody got that? Good.
An example would be like the Me Too movement. This is what it says. Black Lives Matter.
There you go.
Fair trade movements.
There you go. Those are some big things, right? Mm-hmm. So now I went to ChatGPT. It's an app. And all I wrote is simply these words. Ready? What is IMC Nation? And it answered me. Now, I'm not saying it. He's not saying it, right?
Yep.
The source of information that the world will use to answer test questions, find mathematics to solve a fucking problem, to find out what this word means in another. It's going to be accurate on all that shit. Okay? And you can do it yourself. I just wrote, what is IMC Nation? Now I'm going to press the button and I'm going to say, read aloud. And we're going to hear, and it starts with these words. A global movement or a movement, something like that is in there, okay? But you have to know what that means when it says that. Pay close attention to what podcast you're on for just a second, okay? This is IMC Nation. We are IMC Nation. I'm AZD, Arash Zepar Dibazar. You got it? There's no other IMC Nation, all right? I just invited the people that dropped out to come and battle me. Mm-hmm. I told you Next time, bring someone, because this is not exciting enough. Remember that? There's a movement, a global movement, but I'm not going to say it. We're going to find out what the world says about it. Here we are. Use the mic. Here we go. It's going to come from there. You know what I mean? I got a scratch here, you itch over there. Okay, here we go. Read aloud. Enjoy. This is what it says.
IMC Nation is a global movement founded by Arash Zepar Dibazar, AZD, that focuses on personal development, particularly in the realms of relationships, business, and spirituality. It integrates various philosophies, including stoicism, Eastern wisdom, and modern social dynamics to cultivate qualities such as confidence, ambition, focus, and ethical communication. Site-turn-search. A central aspect of IMC Nation is the establishment of communal living spaces known as bases, where members live together to practice and embody the movement's principles.
Not bad.
For instance, in August 2020, AZD and 4 students created IMC Base 1 in San Jose, California, described as the world's first Stoic temple of its kind.
We actually are.
In October 2024, AZD announced plans to relocate IMC Nation to Las Vegas, Nevada, indicating a significant expansion and evolution of the movement. Site-turn-search
Movement.
IMC Nation offers various programs and events aimed at enhancing personal growth and social dynamics. These initiatives are designed to help individuals develop effective communication skills, ethical standards, and a comprehensive understanding of human interactions.
Coming to life.
Site-turn-search. For a more in-depth understanding of IMC Nation, you might find the following video informative. Video, What is IMC Nation? Turn search 1.
Is that it? There's a podcast of those people. I'm that founder who started a movement worldwide. Movements are Black Lives Matter, Civil Rights Movement, Save the Animals. This is a movement of mankind saying that using these ideas ethically and living together and connecting properly, we can evolve. There's nothing like us on the entire planet because there's not a movement behind them. You understand that? This is a movement. There was a self-help movement that they all fall into. This is not that. This is called IMC Nation movement in its own. And it's a global movement. All right? And just like what I said on that podcast, how you get here, you're destined to be here. I don't know how I got here. I've just been living my life, right? So I can't take any more credit than I'm the one reporting to you. And there's a responsibility being me. There's everything, just like you, right? Just like you. This is my story. Now, this is dope, right? Because you might not be able to see it because I'm maybe familiar with you, or maybe I'm the YouTube guy. I'm not. I'm the founder of a movement. And the reason the movement became a movement was nothing more than because I was able to communicate my own process online to people. That's it. Like, it didn't become a movement because a cop killed a black man and I tried to make money off of it. It didn't become a movement because I looked at animals being slaughtered and I thought it was my responsibility because God didn't want to take care of them. I didn't do anything like that, right? It was a movement because I saved my own ass and I spoke about my teachers and what I discovered. And I kept telling everybody exactly what's going on with me, as I'm doing right now. Exactly what's going on with me. You understand? And it became a global movement that you could now you could chat GPT, who's Arash Dibazar, who's AZD. You could try IMC Nation Base 1. It goes over that. We were exploring today. Did you try it? Congratulations. Congratulations. Right? And that was the gift I told you guys was going to happen. Right? I told everybody who knew me from way back, find a position next to this guy, because one day the whole world's going to know. Now, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, right? But it's going to continue to go forward. Today, it says that. It's going to say much greater things in the future about us, right? But this is a movement, everybody. And the movement caught fire because of the ability to communicate and a certain mindset. Not only that, we are and have been the very first Stoic temple in the world. Isn't that crazy? And we knew about it when we did it, because I had never heard that before. But we lived it, and it became real. And now it's real. So any hater can say anything they want to say. But first, they're going to have to start a movement to be able to talk to me about it. Like, if you don't have a movement and you criticize my movement, I would say, you can't even move, right? That's like a person who's in a coma, making someone who's running a race and winning everybody, right? And he's like, you don't run good. Motherfucker, you're in bed. Why don't you start a movement, then tell me my movement is wrong, okay? Otherwise, come and challenge it so that you could see a movement is like a tidal wave and you're just one little sea creature. And I don't care how big you think you are. A movement is a lot of people, okay? A lot of people who are engaged in the movement of getting better and stronger and more confident and better able to communicate and better connected and more loyalty and more honor, more respect, more power. That's the movement. It's a tidal wave that gets bigger. It's a hurricane that keeps picking up the scale. Oh, now it's this, now it's that, now it's this, now it's that. And whatever it touches, it lifts it up. Without a doubt, it uproots your life and everything, right? So that's what's going on. Now we're back. Let's talk about it. Here we are. Now, this guy, he's the captain. He's the leader, right? If we're ships, and let's say now we go into the water, because we're spaceships too. Let's land in the water, Earth's water. There's a black ship sailing in the front. There I am. Look right, left or right, really close, right next to it. There's the captain's ship. It's got a big American flag, and it's got big guns, and it's ready to go. It's in the battle. It's in the front line, and it will bring down the whatever's in. It's ready to shoot, right? And he's on that ship.
Yeah, I totally see it. You know, there's this movie. It's that classic Vietnam or war movie where they get that scene with the prostitute. It's like, I love you long time. Like, what's that movie? Maybe it's Full Metal Jacket. I think it's Full Metal Jacket. Mm-hmm. And so there's this scene that when they land in their Vietnam, and this guy, he's like the machine gunner. So he would hold the machine gun, and he was kind of a few bullets loose, you know. But then somebody, you know, he's picking a fight with the guy, and then one of the comrades comes up and he's like, you know, he's a little rough around the edges, but you know, something about how calm, cool, and collected he is when the grenades are flying. That's who you want when the grenades are flying.
Yeah, that's that guy. As the battle heats up, his ship transforms and becomes sharper and sharper and sharper. And if you're going to be part of a movement called IMC Nation, you're going to have to be able to be in the very front, ready to kill. What? Any idea, demon, negativity, upset, opposition, enemy, any stops, barriers on the way, obstacles, we shoot, right? So some of the best conversations that I have in my life is with this guy when we're both high.
Yeah.
Really though. In fact, when I created my little inner space, I put a chair, I had, okay, that would be a good conversation to have with him, right? And he's also one of my best friends.
Thank you.
But we're best friends. Why? Because of our purpose, our values. We've been to war together. We've backed each other up 1,000 times. We've made mistakes around each other. Mistakes have been forgiven 1,000 times. And now we know something. You could count on the man's character. And if you could say that about one man in this lifetime as a man, congratulations.
Shout out to my dad too. You know,
shout out.
Such a respectable man. I
Mr.
think.
DeVilbiss.
Yeah, Mr. DeVilbiss. Salute.
Give him the scene. Salute, Mr. DeVilbiss. Right on.
You know, another scene from.
Today's Father's Day right now.
That's so interesting. What's that? Braveheart. You know, with William Wallace. And
there's all these white references.
Yeah, and there's this kind of loony guy, right? That comes out of Wales, I think, and he, man, it's quite a scene. Like, you know. Anyway, I resonate with that character. If we could pull that scene up, not now, but like, is at some point like.
Okay, we call this an IMC Nation because I got to teach you our language. That started a movement that's unstoppable. We call what's happening with him Shakti rising. Shakti is a term in yoga. It's like the energy, also known as chi or ki in Chinese and Japanese, prana also in that tradition, Sanskrit. We call it Shakti rising. So what you see is when Shakti rises, so does your face.
Yeah.
Right? Your smile goes, you curve up, Shakti. Your posture goes up, your breathing lifts, right? And that means that movie raises the Shakti. Now, my teacher, the big sorcerer, the one who gave me a gift, one of the greatest gifts I've ever gotten, right? That guy would say to me, in his own terms, he would say, when the Shakti rises, explore that more.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And this is scientific data I'm giving you on inner space. We're masters of the inner space.
Yeah.
That's what we've done.
Yeah, so I know what scenes I'll be watching and milking. It's not even the energy or the prana or the shakti from the movie scene.
No.
There's a reservoir
Yep.
in me that the movie scene
It's reminding you of it.
aligns my perceptions so I can tap the energy
so you
in
can
me.
go see your own memory.
Yeah.
So you can go see your own universe.
Yeah.
It's a map, everyone. The Shakti raising, what we call inspiration. If you follow your inspiration, okay, look, I make money now enough to run my life and take care of others, right? But if we go back years and years and years ago, right, I didn't have enough money to eat, like genuinely, right? And I was doing this thing because I was inspired to do it. Now, I was told during that time, something you should be told, that that's part of following your passion. That all the people that I saw that I wanted to be like, that they all had a similar storyline. They all started broke. They all stuck to it. They were all fucking attacked, and they all made it. So like I had heard that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those guys here to tell you that has been true in my life also, right? So those people, I read about them. I didn't meet them. I did actually. Ernie Reyes was one of those people. Okay, he stuck to what he did, and you know, he was an example to me. But very few people. I'm telling you, because that's what we do. We're a mastermind group that goes and mines different universes. We travel everywhere. One of the ways we admire each other is how many different points of view we can take. The master of this art form can be anybody and anything, because that's how you understand things. You understand them by being them. By walking a mile in their shoes, you'll know them, right? So we practice. Our Jedi practice, our advanced class, starts tomorrow, the second level, okay? Our advanced class is mental practices that allow us to not be stuck in our one-dimensional human experience that they fed us. Humans don't even have to live like this. We just do, okay? Everything could be different. Everything could be different. Like I remember me growing up, everybody was expected to get married. That's not the expectation anymore. Right? But like truly, if you ever said, which I did at the time, I'm not getting married, it was like, whoa, hold on. What do you mean? Okay, add to the list. I'm going to drop out of school. I don't need to go to college. Oh my God. Wait, hold on. You know, the Matrix program comes after you. Everyone turns into Agent Smith. Mm-hmm. And they all shapeshift and they grab you and they interrogate you. And they make sure you fucking know if you don't get married, if you don't go to school, you're as good as dead. In fact, if you don't believe it, your own family will treat you dead right away.
Literally the Truman Show.
Literally.
It's everybody trying to convince you, no, that's not what it is.
No. But you have a voice in you, right? That's what brings you here, right? The same voice that heard my teacher's voice, Manu's voice, right? This thing talks to itself. Right? It survived through the ages. The wisdom has moved on. Right? We revived the Stoics.
True. That's true.
You know, what's that guy's name? Ryan Holiday?
Yeah.
Ryan Holiday has one of the best channels on Stoicism. I during that time of phase one of the beast, I watched every video that guy had. Right? And he's a scholar, but that's different. Okay? It's called boots on the ground. Like we became Stoics, and we're unbreakable here because Stoicism makes you unbreakable as a man, but we lived it. So we know more Stoicism than anybody I know, because we took that as a base and we became the first Stoic temple on earth. Put that down in your history if you were with me.
Website's still there, man. That's what it's. I'm convinced that's where ChatGPT got it from.
Yeah.
You know, first Stoic temple of its kind.
But it would have to find something valid to do that. It doesn't go tell you that your neighbor now fucking created an imaginary fucking game and now it's on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Right? Bill Jones also had dreams too. And ChatGPT ain't going to tell you about his goals and dreams. It's going to tell you about his manifestations. If they were big enough to move enough people, and you'll end up on that thing. And that's what I know. Right now, I ChatGPT'd myself too. And it said there's over 6,000 YouTube videos, right? That's a lot. If one a day, how many years is that? Math-wise.
20.
20 years?
Yeah, 20 years.
If you did one video every single day, 365 days a week, it would be, are you sure about that? It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, because 1,000 would be 3 years, so 6,000 would be 3 times 6, about 18. So
There you go. I didn't do the math, but it sounds right. 20 years of work's been done if you did a video every day. That's crazy. And it's not counting all the shit we don't put on YouTube. It would be like over 10,000. It would be like you're looking at 40 years of research or production. That's me speaking about it, right? I want you to measure it because I have a better language now to communicate it. Just like if I go back 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I was saying the same thing. I just didn't have enough symbols, enough reality on the world to speak properly about it, right? But just like everything, it has its seasons, right? And I know something about IMC and myself and you, if you're around, we're all going through the right season here, right? Because I've never been in control of this thing. I've just been the one in the front ship or the front roller coaster fucking one, and that seat is occupied by one individual for some reason, not by two. But there's seats right, very close, right? Because this is not a ride you go on alone. You wouldn't make it alone. You would feel insane at some point going through this shit, right? Now I know I'm not crazy because now we have results, okay? So the question was, what's it like? I mean, you were part of the movement. You did it. You're the leader. What's it like hearing all that? Is it validating?
oh yeah, whoa.
What's it like thinking about the people that are just talking shit right now that just left? Like, what a joke, dude.
It is a joke, you know. It's just I feel like somebody jumped ship as I'm a spaceship, and so I've just left them really far behind. They're really out of mind, and
Out of sight, out of mind.
I can tell probably from their perspective, we're definitely not out of their mind. Like they're talking,
They're watching my fucking
man
every day.
So that they left is.
How about this? If I had a chance to debate anybody, I thought they were a bad person, and they gave me their audience, I would go. You understand that? Just straight up. If let's say I talk about Andrew Tate, but you don't have to be famous, okay? But if you have an audience and you want me to show up, I'll show up right now, okay? That's the thing, right? I'm giving people a fucking chance to come and say what a creep I am. Let's find out. Let's see. Let's see if it holds up. Now, what does that have to do with you? And let's talk about it. Fuck, man. If I wasn't me and I was over there looking at me, again, I'm either legit or I'm fake. If I'm fake, I'm a great faker. Learn how I'm faking everything. If I'm legit, then damn, I'd want to know this guy. I'd want to be on his fucking team. This is a team. It's a ship. And on the ship, you build a ship first to save yourself. Because you're drowning. You're drowning in a world of bad communication, bad relationships, and no tribe. You're going to have to create a tribe. You're going to have to start fixing your relationships. And you have to learn to communicate. When you do that, you have a ship. Now you could start sailing with us a little bit. Okay? And you're going to be surprised at that moment at the ships we've created here. When you start understanding and waking up to how bad your relationships are, when you wake up to how it's impossible for you to have a relationship with a man or a woman right now that's righteous. I mean, it's impossible, guys. This is a movement. It's a global movement. And I speak to people globally. There's not one individual outside of this inner circle who's satisfied in their relationship, no matter what you think. They're all lying, every one of them, okay? Because a version of them has showed up in my class. Their income level, their looks, their fucking problems. But what we see is we see the nature. We see the code of man and woman. And we observe it in our own lives. And we are a movement of ourselves being the product. That's rare in itself. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to know what the product looks like? Show up tomorrow again. Look at my life. Or come out tonight. Or come spend a day here. Right? Who does that? Now, you need to wake up. Okay? You need to wake up. That's why the free podcast. Because I believe if people knew exactly what it is I'm doing and what's happening here, they would drop everything to be here. Do you agree or not?
Of course.
He's done it. 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 And it's not easy. It's challenging. But it's your life. What do you... Like, you act like if you don't do that, you have no challenges. You still have challenges, right? But those challenges, they don't make you evolve. They make you go down. In a year, you're worse. 2 years, you're worse. 4 years, you're worse. You could be in the best relationship right now because you just got together. I'll talk to you in 6 years from now. Should you still be together? Let's see what happens. Okay? Let's just see what happens. You're going to see that your life is going downhill and you're learning to be okay with it. You're dropping your standards. We are raising our standards of friendships, relationships, of ourselves first and foremost. Because as within, so without. Now I want to tell you, there's 7 alchemy laws. A lot of people, if you're on this podcast, you would know something about what I said. Okay? It starts with it's a mental universe or its own state of mind. These 7, it came to me that these are actual physics of the inner world. That's the formulas, guys. Because we, in our world right now, I can tell you everything we do aligns with those 7. Every exercise we did this morning, everything I'm talking about is a demonstration of the 7 alchemy laws, without a doubt. Okay? And in those 7, it says clearly, as within, so without. As above, so below. Right? So if it's a movement of people changing their lives, but it's a movement of one working on oneself, then that also tells you it's already been talked about if you break it down. We, by changing ourselves, change our environment. As within, so without. Hermes said that, not me. Thoth said that, not me. It's in the pyramids. It's in the fucking emerald tablets of Thoth. We might want to pay attention if we found these fucking tablets thousands of years old inscribed in fucking Egypt or wherever the fuck it was. Right? What if they were right? Well, I'm here to tell you they were right. And we use that to win every single day. Because outside of these formulas, we actually have nothing else going for us. Because the founder, me, that's all he had going for him. Not a very rich family that would support him. Not this, not that, none of that, right? But with an understanding of these laws to save his own ass. And what? Be somebody. I wanted to be somebody in life. I achieved that now. Mm-hmm. Now what happens? It's what would happen with any organism that grows. Now I want others to be somebody with me. It makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense. That's what would happen to you. You would grow. You would expand your influence with whatever it is you got going on. Okay? This was not a movement of manipulating people, of lying, of cheating. This was an ethical movement. And it still is. In fact, if you keep asking it, it emphasizes ethics more than once in the different ones. It says an ethical movement. It says focus on ethics. Are you kidding me? 2024? Planet Earth, a group of men that call themselves players? Ethical? Yeah. Exactly that. That's why it's a movement. Because it's never been done before.
It's going to stand the test of time. Like this movement is cutting through the hypnosis of the society. Exactly. And in a really lasting way because it's so necessary. And we're bringing together and we're developing our ability to communicate about it and organize our movement about it because we're still so young and
we're fresh.
Early in. At the same time, we're timeless and lifetimes. Like there's definitely higher orders as above, so below that we're tapping into that.
Have you truly experienced, some people believe in ghosts. Some people have experienced ghosts, right? Some people believe in Christ. Some people have experienced Christ, like things like that. Experiences when you have it. Yeah. Have you experienced as above, so below for yourself or no? Honestly.
Of course.
Yeah.
At a very magical level, powerful level, transformation.
Can you talk about that for a second? Here's a person who can vouch for that formula. And so can I. And I know you want that because that makes you spiritual, which you are. You need to know this is real, guys. This guy is a PhD, and whatever he touches turns into gold. He also makes 6 figures. In today's world, that's not small. He makes 6 figures doing this. I mean, I can go, the more I speak about it, about IMC, the more you go, whoa. And at some point, it's like, whoa. Right? You are, whoa. So we just got to keep it at the level everybody's at, which is what?
Yeah.
Ready? He holds a PhD. He's a scientist.
Yeah.
And he's a yogi. He's not, to be a scientist, you have to be a skeptic. He asked me one time in the car, he texted me, he goes, what did you mean in the car? He said, I'm the skeptic. I said, you're the scientist. Scientist is a skeptic. You need a scientific mind around you, not just a believer. Fuck a believer. Fuck a believer. I don't want no fucking believer. That's a follower. This is leaders, right? I'm a ship, you're a ship. You got to save your people, I got to save my people, right? Let's go together because guess what? The enemy is the same enemy. It's the same enemy that's grabbed my family, that's grabbed your family, that's grabbed your family. It's the same enemy that's going to destroy your daughter and his daughter and his daughter and your son and his son and his son. And if you have a wife or a girlfriend, I swear it's the same enemy, the same demons, the same evil that's going to take over her soul and destroy your life. God damn it. Right? And so we did what every man does in every generation when he sees a threat and he's been called upon to handle it. Nobody handled it before us. We just had the spirit of the samurai in us, the warrior, the Viking, the monk, the thug, you name it, we had it, right? And it woke up. No surprise, look at the planet. If there is anything as above, so below, then this is the time to wake up. Okay? Yeah. All right, I cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
about the experience.
The sense of alignment, you know, I wish I had tangible, and what it is, you know, and the yoga and the science is very related. The yoga being the science internally, and the skepticism definitely has always been kind of second nature to me. And
how old is yoga? Do you know around?
Man, I mean, what they say with the scripts.
It's been documented.
At least 4,000 or 5,000 years old.
I want you to know, when something lasts 4,000 to 5,000 years, it's lasted longer than Christianity and Islam. So you know.
That is just the documented, like they have artifacts and drawings and sculptures and things. It's much older.
It's a science.
That's the thing. It's like physics. How old is physics? That's like I'm saying, well, Newton wrote it 400 years ago, so it's 400 years old. No, physics is infinite. It's been around since the dawn of the universe.
But check this out. In physics, they keep finding new formulas. Yoga, you're still doing the same poses with the same breathing that 4,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, the gods did. That hasn't changed. That's what I think is so powerful about yoga and the martial arts. As long as people have 2 arms and 2 legs, you can armbar them like that. That's not going to change. How you get to it may be different, but in the end, you armbar the same way. And in the end, you yoga the same way. If you know what I mean?
It's very similar, you know, because like when you were explaining earlier and being a skeptic and whatever, I've always liked being able to put my power and my energy behind truth when I know it's right. Similar to like an armbar. Like if I have the armbar, like I don't have to panic. I don't have to move around. Like I have the armbar. If he's squirming or whatever, like I got it locked in, just let it be. I got the armbar. Like I'm going to get this.
Yeah, invite them on because they're already locked in.
Right.
Don't panic and then pop the armbar.
I already got the leverage. Yep. I've already won. Now it's just looking for the right timing or whatever. And same thing with truth. And I saw it happening so many times in yoga, you know, after so many classes attended and so many studios and different lineages.
Would you say you have thousands of hours of yoga?
Oh yeah, 10,000.
Easily.
And when you know the right way, something that's more right, and you hear the teacher say something wrong, but they say it with such certainty, and so many people are buying into it like it's right, but it's like, you know, that's wrong.
Yeah,
like, you know, and then
like wear that mask and it'll prevent you from getting COVID from me.
It's similar.
We know it's wrong, and something happens, and so when we listen to that bullshit, they could say, this scientist said it, that scientist said it. I can see for myself and do the math.
And so that's why it's been so effortless to put all my energy behind IMC Nation, because I see the truth everywhere I look, at every perspective and how you apply it. You know, for example, earlier the show, whatever we were talking about, and tapping in with the inspiration, the Shakti rising of those things. And somehow that leads to the realization, I've already realized it, but just putting the words on it, that, you know, the process you teach us, you know, so many movements and activities in life, they teach you a mold for you to fit yourself into. You fit into the mold, and then you start going into the story about get married, go to college. There's another mold that society gave you also. But every little movement's going to have their mold they put you in. Yeah. Whatever shape you are, they're going to put you in a square peg or whatever.
You still have to show up to that fucking cubicle and do what they said. But maybe today you could dress differently in this office.
Yeah, the Casual Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You get to express yourself in that cubicle, be there this time.
Right. You know, I go to the bank the other day, and he has like a piece of bank-approved artwork on the fucking wall that's like, you know, from... Like, did you choose that art? You didn't choose that art. You got to live and work every day in this office looking at that art, but you didn't choose that art.
Yeah, the bank chose it for you. And gave you 4 choices. This stamp, that stamp, and that stamp.
Seriously, yeah. Great guy got creative. It's button. It's the button I chose.
My name is here now with the turtle under it.
So... the movement and putting my weight behind it and the truth. And so this is the process you teach it's guiding people to find their own mold, like their own unique mold. And that's the strength and fortification of each of us in our process, is that we haven't compromised ourselves to fit a mold. you've led us to a way of thinking and acting and our habits that we find our own, like those inspiring movie clips that may not be inspiring for anybody.
It's not for me. It is for him.
But you know, there's a common physics, and you're leading us to the 7 laws of alchemy and however we want to like describe it. And that's just so powerful. And I don't know why I was so inspired to say that, but like that's what it is. It's an authentic movement to find that authenticity.
There you go. That's our word. We own authenticity.
That's the thing. So the words carry so much weight in the description Chat GPT gives. I mean, we're about it. Like that's what we do. Like when you look at somebody that puts videos out about themselves and promo videos or whatever, there's so many different movements. They do their social media ads and their whole funnels, and they're selling this and that and the other service. And they've spent 100 takes making the perfect video to portray themselves in the perfect way, because, you know, whatever they're selling is not personal development. If it is, then you got to recognize how cheesy it is. But most of them are not selling personal. They're selling some other service and skill set. Okay, go and learn the skill set from them. But they have to do all those takes and outtakes and whatever. And they have so much they have so little content out in the public world, because like they have to rely on that skill that you can go and buy from them to get by. It's not their personality or their character or their humanness.
They're not selling character. That's for sure.
Their ability to relate, and ultimately you're going to learn all those skills and then dead end because you're going to be unsatisfied, not knowing how to relate.
Another way to say that is you still don't have a ship. You're going to drown with all those skills.
Yeah.
You can't go where you need to go.
You know, somebody's going to sell you a nice big ship, but it's got all these holes in it, and you're going to get out in the middle of the ocean and like not realize how to sail, how to navigate the stars, how to plug your ship.
What do you do when a storm comes with the waves so big? Does your ship crash? Do you not maneuver? We have to maneuver through our inner relationships all the time, man. That's how you get good at having a mate, whether you're a man or a woman. You have to know you so good to know where your flaws are, your strengths are. You have to know your boundaries. You have to know your freedoms. You got to know you, because otherwise, whatever you put out is not really you, and you're trapped in a shitty relationship.
How do you know you?
That. Be around men who know themselves, and when you speak, they point it out to you, and they're interested in you getting stronger.
Was there any way for guys online to know themselves, to go on?
Yes, that's
people are out of touch.
Yes.
Everybody on earth is out of touch with everything you just said.
Let me tell you something, okay? It comes back to when you were a kid. And in Christianity, the kingdom of heaven is for children. You have to be innocent like a child, right? So when you were a child, your imagination was very creative. And it was either cartoons or comic books or animals or maybe a toy you had, maybe a movie like Star Wars. I don't know. Somewhere in there, your Shakti would raise as a child, and most likely, you were born into a family that didn't appreciate that. That seems to be part of the curse here, right? To drop this little boy into a family that's completely the opposite. So he gets punished every time his Shakti raises. So if you grab the stick and make a sword, his mom or dad comes and says, that's violent, put it down, and you get punished because you beat up the neighborhood bully and you had the wrong dad. You know, I gave an example earlier to my girlfriends. I said, you know, I was teaching the language, the subconscious language. We call it the animal language, right? And I said, look, if I had a son and he understood the language of lion and beasts, he might say to me, I would say, son, tell me what happened in the jungle today when he comes from school. Let me tell you this conversation, how he would be able to relate it to me. If it was my son, he would say, Dad, there I was with my pride at lunch. And this bear walked by, and he came into my space, and I questioned what he was doing. There was no static. He walked through, but he got too close, and I let it go. What do you think, Dad? I'm a lion. My son would be a lion, or I let him be whatever beast he is, but he starts as a lion. I would say to him, son, you just told me a bear walked through. You have to confront him. But not with attack. You have to go up to him face to face, a lion would. If the guy shows up tomorrow, I want you to walk up to him and introduce yourself. Hey man, how you doing? This could be 11th grade, 12th, 13th, I don't give a fuck. You walk up to him, hey, I'm AZD's son, whatever name. Olin, let's call him Olin. I'm Olin. And I haven't seen you, or I've seen you in class or whatever. Wanted to introduce myself. I said, son, if he's pretending macho, he'll know you're a lion, and he'll put his tail between his legs and walk off. And you'll know right away. If he's a bear, he gets that you face a lion. He knows what you're saying to him. You're approaching him when he enters your space and introducing yourself, telling him, hey, do what I did when I met my friends, son. I would go up to him in this life and say, am I afraid of you? Because my friends are dangerous. You're telling him what your dad would say in your language. Am I afraid of you? I'm introducing myself. Look at me. Do I look nervous? Do you understand that I get their spacing? I know you walked through this. I'm not stupid. My father taught me the language that there's spacing. You knew what you did. I said, so he'll respect you. And if he's friendly, he'll recognize you as a lion. Next time he'll wave or come up and shake your hand or introduce you to his friends. I guarantee it. Or he is an aggressive attacker and he's there to take over. And then he'll look at you and say, why are you stepping up to me or whatever? And I said, at that point, son, then you have your enemy. You're minding your business. So handle it as such. Tell him to back the fuck up and to show respect. And if you think he's going to hit you, hit him with what I taught you. If they call me into the school, I got your back. But don't kill him. Okay? Whoa. Wouldn't that be good? You're a father. Now, my son would go the next day and he would not doubt himself. He would sit there sharp. I could be him, waiting. He sees the guy. If the guy's weak, he'll sense the energy right away. He won't go walk anymore. That's the end of that drama. Or the guy pushes through. My son is ready to go. His heart's beating, but he's not nervous. He's been told that's how a lion gets ready. Now your muscles are gorged with blood. You're faster, you're stronger, and you're focused. That's what that means, son. When you feel their heart pumping, it tells you the hunt is there. Good. He recognizes there's a hunt in him. As he walks up, he's not nervous. He's ready. He introduces himself. Let the guy does what the fuck he does. Because I told you, it could play out 1, 2, 3. I got my son's back either way. Now, if my son was a real son, I would say, by the way, hold on, let me call Captain. Hey, Cap, tell your son this is going on. And my son would walk up with a tiger brother. And they would both approach. And my son would do that, and the tiger would walk up to him and maybe tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, what's up? Did you ever wrestle before? Huh? You look like a good body type to wrestle with. And then maybe there will be a wolf there because it's IMC Nation. Because my son would never be sitting alone at 11th grade. He would have friends by now. I would know his friends' parents by now. He wouldn't be going to daycare by now. I'd be raising him, or the women would be raising him under my guidance. Now that's a new society. That's IMC Nation. And it's within reach. Okay, it's within reach. Because if I had a child, it would be that. But somebody out of us will have a child, and somebody out of us will recognize that's a better language. I would tell my daughter, maybe she likes crystals. Tell me about the crystal world you were in today. And she would say there was a person and they had dark energy like an onyx. I would say, how did you block it? Oh, block it? What do you mean? Do you have amethyst around you? Are any of your friends able to handle that energy? Bring your friend next time, go up to that person. She's going to do the same thing. She's going to walk up with an amethyst. If that bitch is tough, onyx, take one of your onyx friends. Go meet her through that. Let her see you. You're not afraid. Your mother controls all the crystals. You're learning. This is so you learn how to deal with onyx energy. She is to work for you. You're IMC Nation Queen's daughter. You're not a regular child. I would never think my child is regular. Never. I would always let him know you're completely different. You're unique and you're special. Okay? And anytime there's ever an argument between you and the teacher, you're always right. Because that's not a teacher over there. Okay? That's a person who runs that class. Your teacher is me and your mom. End of story. Or the next teacher I find you, let me introduce you to my teacher's son, who's now a champion jiu-jitsu. Go. See how it goes? Because that lineage is getting passed down too. If I had a son, eventually he'd train with Batata's son. Why? Because he's becoming a champion. And my son would teach him the same relationship. What a beautiful world to live in, man. Do you know it's accessible?
Yeah, and it's truly an anime, man. It's a league of extraordinary gentlemen. The network is so aesthetic and impressive.
That is the word. Thank you, Manu.
Yeah, it's a beautiful network. And it's coming to me, you know, you were asking me earlier about as within, so without, as above, so below. And two clear examples is like what you were just saying, these storylines of, excuse me, how to run a family and the tribe and the organization. That's from idea space. That's like above us. And the world is infiltrated by different ideas that people are bringing into reality, different ways of family and
communism,
basically like we're manifesting communism and socialism versus different ideas of capitalism and tribal values and accountability and those sorts of things, personal ownership, private property. Like in the social environment sense also, this is capitalism of the being. And, you know, that's as above, so below. Because where is that idea? Like it's available to anybody anywhere. Just like, you know.
An idea is yours once you take it. And that's why wisdom is priceless. Because one idea could change your life. These are ideas we stacked on top of each other, and we create a structure inside that we now go inside and there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to go out tonight. We're in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We're going to go to places as close to Tijuana as you can possibly be in this world, right? And we know how to look completely different, yet blend completely in.
Really?
We're social masters.
Yeah.
We are going to walk in, 3 of us are going tonight, and we're going to walk in, 3 of us are going, then 10 guys are coming after, but 3 of us are starting tonight. As we go in, we're going to walk in seeing a matrix. Each of us is going to be calibrating like a beast to the environment, not pressing the wrong buttons, being aware of distances, knowing right away who's aggressive, who's not, reading the women's body languages. We're going to be very difficult to fool. And it's going to be fun. And that's the only reason we're going, right? We've been working for 3-4 days, working on ourselves deep, working on the business deep. And we want to get out and play, right? And we're boys who like girls. You see that? And if you're a boy who can't say that, you're not a boy anymore. If you can't tell your girl, I like girls, that's why I like you. I like pretty girls, that's why I like you. I like soft, pretty girls, that's why I like you, right? And she can say to you, I like powerful men, that's why I like you. That's righteous. What she would say, I like weak men, you're a weak one? No. But at the same nature also tells her this. Once she finds a powerful man, she's locating on him only. The powerful man, once he has power, he sees more than her only. Why? Because that's what God wants. And we can prove that. We can prove that with physics, evolution, and religion, right? And in fact, we can prove everything. That's why I can sit here with so much confidence all day. What are you going to say? If I don't know it, I don't know it. If I know it, I know it. And I know it not because I know it because I know it and it's been tested and others know it too. And you can't lie about it. Okay? Anybody with intelligence can see the truth of what we're talking about. Okay, well, this has been much more fun than I thought. I didn't really want to do it in the beginning, you know?
Right on. Yeah.
Anything else? Any other ideas wrapping it up?
Formulating the laws of physics of the social world, of the inner world. And that's, you know, I know enough to know that I definitely don't know what I'm going to know like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now. And I plan on living that long.
Beginning of wisdom.
And, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be writing down formulas of social dynamics in the inner world, as above, so below, and the physics of mind space and interface with AI and shit like that. It's just, I know a little bit about how my mind works and, you know, my dispositions, and I could see that happening. So, you know, as above, so below, the idea space, and then as within, so without, you know, I'm reminded of your quantum leaps and how tangible that really makes. You know, I've been studying so much the Master Key System, this book that you recommended years ago, that I'm still about to. I'm one of those guys that, like, if I stop understanding it, I start over and I just keep going. And
Same.
It's just like my 6th time through this book, and I'm about to finish it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's so much of that and the language of that inner world, outer world, and so tangible in this quantum leaps. When we give you the language of our inspiration, of our what makes our Shakti, to the best of our awareness, and then give it to you, and you weave it in a way that, you know, it aligns our inner world with our outer world. I might be able to describe the outer world as like what I'm consciously aware of. That's like an outwardly oriented mind. And then the inner world, the subconscious, the parts that I'm not thinking about, that are operating when I'm not thinking, but they're going that way. And so it takes a lot of energy to run this whole system when I'm not thinking. Like, I don't think about my heartbeat or my brain activity, but that's using most of my calories. Like, I think about it a little bit when I work out, but mostly it's just burning its calories on its own. And it's like, if I can align the whole engine that's running this machine with my conscious intention, but in a way that doesn't take so much effort. Like, I just align my belief systems with the activities I do, for example. So I'm not day by day, decision by decision, exerting effort to align my inner world with outer world.
This is the level 2 of the beast you're talking about.
Right on, but I've just aligned my life with my inner world. And, you know, through the teachings and the opportunity you gave with the quantum leaps, that is such a real and recent example of as within, so without.
Yeah, for real. He's talking about go to www.imcnation.co. And that's the quantum leaps. It's going to be a countdown on there of 24 hours before the Stargate closes and move to the next one. It's going to be really sick. Okay? Everybody who bought the product is getting a email that says 24 hours, 2 slots, right? Still 2 slots. So then I'm on the website, it's going to say 24 hours, and then it's going to change. And the next world is already created. So it's going to be really dope, guys. Check it out. Okay, so there's something that came up. So let's go to ChatGPT. All right? And I put, here's the command I gave it. You could try it. What is IMC Nation base 1? Right? So I sit here right now with Fernando, aka Cupid, Sultan, aka 45, and Yogi Chris, aka Captain. Okay? These guys, it's talking about them and me in the beginning of it. This was base 1. Check it out. You guys made it into history. They can't delete this. Do you get it? Now, every moment you live, you add to the story. You're a main character now. Here we go. Read aloud. Let's see what it says. Enjoy. Talk about us. Base 1.
IMC Base 1 is a communal living space established in August 2020 by Arash Zepar Dibazar, AZD, the founder of IMC Nation, along with 4 of his students. Located in San Jose, California, it is described as the world's first Stoic temple of its kind. The purpose of IMC Base 1 is to serve as a residence and training center where members of IMC Nation can immerse themselves in the movement's philosophies and practices. It combines elements of stoicism, martial arts, and social dynamics to foster personal development and transformation. Site, turn search 9. The base hosts various events, including elite transformation weekends and training sessions, providing members with opportunities to deepen their understanding and application of IMC Nation's teachings. Site, turn search 9. For a behind-the-scenes look at life within IMC Base 1, you might find the following video informative. Video behind the scenes from IMC Base 1, turn search 3.
There you go. And he even found the original members of it. Okay? And if I said, what is IMC Nation philosophy? I haven't done that yet. Let's study it together. By the way, this podcast is over. You're welcome to leave. What is IMC Nation philosophy? Here we go. Let me press enter and see if anything shows up. Searching. Yep, it's got some stuff. So it's writing, and then when it's finished, then I press the read aloud. Okay, it's not too long. Here we go. Let's see what it says about our philosophy. Read aloud. See if it's right.
IMC Nation, founded by Arash Zepar Dibazar, AZD, is a global movement dedicated to personal development, emphasizing the integration of relationships, business, and spirituality. Its philosophy draws from a diverse array of teachings, including Stoicism, Eastern wisdom traditions such as Buddhism and Zen, and modern social dynamics. At Turn Search 2. Central to IMC Nation's philosophy is the cultivation of qualities like confidence, ambition, focus, and ethical communication. The movement encourages individuals to take ownership of their actions and responsibilities, aiming to enhance their interactions with themselves, their relationships, and the broader community. Turn Search 2. IMC Nation also emphasizes the importance of understanding and navigating social dynamics, particularly in the context of male-female relationships. By integrating various philosophical perspectives, it seeks to provide a comprehensive framework for personal growth and effective communication. Site, Turn Search. For a more in-depth exploration of IMC Nation's philosophy, the Enlightened Masculinity podcast offers discussions on topics such as masculinity, relationships, and personal development within the context of IMC Nation's teachings. Site, Turn Search.
He went away. Pretty cool, huh? What do you think?
That's pretty cool. Enlightened Masculinity, shout out.
That's your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, interviewed like 40, 50 IMC guys, and probably will be bringing it back. I was talking with Kingpin about it. So in the next 2 or 3 months, when it's established, you know, we're building the business like that, then look forward to really Howard Stern style interview type podcast, you know, definitely regularly. I won't say daily right now.
That
but
guy's powerful, dude. Howard Stern's powerful.
Yeah, man.
studied the shit out of that guy.
I'm going to be, you know, Howard Stern of IMC for a little while.
Hell yeah.
And then, you know, we have this beautiful set here that we can possibly utilize. So, enlightened masculinity, IMC Nation, be the best, fuck the rest.
All right, so is there anybody online that wants to say anything? Just raise your hand, please. Because we're going to end it. Okay? Well, that was fun. We'll do it again next Thursday. Again, if you have critics, whatever, this is a good space for them. If they're liberals, this is a safe space for them to get destroyed. Okay? And anybody who's ever resisted us has resisted truth, honor, loyalty, family. These values have never changed. However, I do take responsibility for miscommunicating. So, you know, I can only communicate as well as I can communicate. I've always done my best and I'll keep doing my best. But that keeps getting better, right? So if I had said it differently, I would have gotten better results. But I said it the way I could say it at the time I could say it, right? And so I hope to sit here, you know, 10 months from now, way better communicator than today. And I know I will, without a doubt, okay? Because it seems to be an infinite scale of getting better. And I'm really happy that I'm a human because of that. And my dog can't do that. The maximum my dog can get it to is not anywhere near where I want to be as a fucking consciousness right now, right? So as human beings, we have the ability to move our consciousness around, imagine things. Our imagination is one of our greatest tools. It's a tool. It's an internal weapon, instrument you use, right? Tesla used it. Einstein used it. Newton used it. Da Vinci used it. All these names used it, okay? And you and I can also use it. We also have it. And just like those people I named, each one of us was born with a gift, okay? Without a doubt. So what that is, I'm curious to find out too, because there hasn't been one man gifted that I didn't benefit from. Think about it. Right? Thank God Tesla was gifted, right? Thank God all these people are gifted, because that's what happens, right? A gift from the divine is something that moves life forward. All right? So as Manu Tupou said, oh, that's what I wanted to say. Unwavered today. This is what I wanted to say. One time, a really ugly little boy on the outside, pure of heart, met a sorcerer. And the sorcerer fit all the markings of a sorcerer. His voice, the way he moved, what he could do. And that sorcerer taught that little boy somehow that he was beautiful. That he was one of the most beautiful creatures that walked around. And he taught him how to go around and make everything beautiful. And that became a gift he had. And that was Manu to me, right? As you get better in this process, your life becomes beautiful suddenly. It becomes, you don't want to see any other movie. You only will watch movies and cartoons just to see yourself again. You fall in love with yourself again. And that's something your enemy doesn't want you to do, right? Because anytime you ever deal with any internal bullshit is when you don't like you. If you were challenged on the outside by a relationship or a person or a job or sickness, and you went through it the way you want to go through it, you admired yourself at the end. You told the story like a hero. But if a grasshopper accidentally jumped on your path and you acted in a way you shouldn't act, right? You compromised something in you. Later on, you always talk about that grasshopper as being a big titan in your path. And it was just a fucking grasshopper, dude, right? And you turn a grasshopper into a titan, or you turn a titan into a grasshopper. Because inside, we're in control of that. Outside, it is what it is. But inside, the story I tell myself is the story that I live in. Okay? Eckhart Tolle says, don't tell any stories. Be here. I say when you're here, pay attention. There's a really nice story that you're involved in. You are a main character somewhere in this storyline. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. Okay? In order to see that, you're going to have to recognize these basic tenets of amor fati, memento mori, carpe diem, and ad vitam ad culpam. Right? That, when you understand it, or when you understand this process, that becomes natural. It becomes natural for you to seize the day. It becomes natural for you to live like it's your last moment. Because it makes sense, right? And when it makes sense is what he was talking about. You don't have to try. It makes sense to not stick your finger in a light socket. So we don't have to keep warning everybody all the time about it, right? And laws are supposed to make sense. And rules are supposed to make sense. And relationships are supposed to make sense. And when something doesn't make sense, right? That is a warning. You have to question it, right? And it takes courage to question it, because to question something that doesn't make sense, you're going to have to get into nonsense, right? And that doesn't feel good on the inside. We like order. Even if your shit is thrown all around the room, you know where your socks are half the time. I do. I know where my contact lens solution is. Even if it looks like it's out of place, I put it there, right? So when someone comes and cleans my house, they bring order that's not orderly to me sometimes. So I always have to ask, where's this? Where's this? Where'd you put that necklace? Where'd you put this ring, right? Just letting you know that even in your disorder, you found some order. And that's what's scary, right? Is you've made sense out of nonsense. And that is scary. It's nonsense. It's nonsense what's going on in your life, right? Otherwise, you shouldn't be suffering. There's no reason. There's no reason to suffer. Okay? All right. That sorcerer Manu Tupo gave me a message to pass on. It was be the best and fuck the rest. IMC Nation. See you guys.
Oh.
Oh.